Why would I throw in the towel? I just got in my bag. I don't make no mistakes. I'm coming for mine, and there ain't no one taking my place.
Hey, what it do? Welcome to the Quarter Report, brought to you by the Red Night Special, and this is Word on the Net. I'm your boy Town Biz, and thank you for tuning in. Your first time to the channel, hit that like, subscribe button. Let's run this content up. Now check this out, man. With no further ado, check this. We got your boy WACK100, right? Now they saying he got exposed for lying about what happened to him on that trip when he got caught with all them guns and things, right? Shout out to Nina Boy. Y'all go tap in with Nina Boy. I got this clip from him. I don't know the person he got it from. I got it from him. So I'm going to shout out Nina Boy. Y'all go check his channel out, tap in with him, see what he got going on over there. Anyway, with no further ado, we're going to get to this content, man, because we got to talk about this, man. Yeah, dig it? Because at the end of the day, the boy keeps saying he's not a stoolie. We finna see.
Might have been lying this whole time. All right, so we got some content by the Ruler Report. Shout out to my boy, keep grinding, man. Keep doing your one too. You definitely know, man. You definitely a big one out here with this one. So going forward, man, WACK100, you know what I mean, they're having these allegations about his case he caught in Texas and how it just disappeared, and you know, him being a convicted felon at the time, get caught with guns in the vehicle and was released and free to go. No harm, no charges, no foul. And it was a mystery to everybody that was in the streets, man, asking what's up with that case. So it looks like they got proof that WACK100 was caught lying about his Texas case. Did he snitch? I'm going to let y'all be the judge and the jury. Let's go.
Let's try to catch you up on what happened. I'm going to do like a little recap, so that way when I begin to play the other clips, you'll understand what the hell is going on and being talked about.
Word is, WACK100 and his brother got pulled over in Texas. Nothing wild at first. It felt like a man trying to play both sides, warn the guy he just helped line up, stay close to the fire without getting burned. And that's when people really started looking at Wack different, like maybe he ain't the watchdog he pretends to be. But all this stuff happening today goes way back to an incident in 2005. Word is, WACK100 and his brother got pulled over in Texas. Nothing wild at first, just speeding. Cops stop them, ask the usual questions, and Wack tells them they're headed to a funeral in Oklahoma. Then the officers ask to search the car. Wack says no, so a K9 unit was brought and sniffed out a shotgun, a rifle, and a pistol, all loaded. And here's the part nobody can ignore. Wack and his brother were already convicted felons. That's federal time, off the rip. You don't walk away from that kind of case. That's the type of arrest that ends music careers before they even start. But somehow, Wack posted bail and went back to LA like nothing happened. Then 2 years passed. Quiet. No court updates. No noise. Until suddenly, the whole case gets dismissed.
Shout out to the RZA.
Now check this out, man. You feel me? On that note, right, Wack has had a lot of suspect situations that are went down that he just never seemed to have to take responsibility for whatever happens. And I'm saying that even with the loose cannon situation, right? When you really do your due diligence and look at what's going on, Wack knew what was about to pop off before it popped off. You did. But in his testimony to the people, he had told the people, no, I ain't had no parts of that. I didn't know nothing. I didn't even know they was coming, which was a lie. Because we remember when Adam 22 was leaving, he was talking about, hey, man, some people outside for you. And he was like, oh, yeah, they for loose cannon. So for you to say, oh, yeah, they for loose cannon, that means you knew that they was on their way up there anyway. But anyway, back to the problem at hand, right? I don't know if Wack a rat. I'm not going to call him no stool pigeon. Like I said, I'm an old school cat. I go by old school rules, man. You got to show me the black and white, bro. I ain't going to just throw nothing on somebody. But I will say when people say where there's smoke, there's fire. To me, we can mistake mist and fog for smoke at times. You dig what I'm saying? Now, it's a lot of suspects, cases or situations surrounding Wack. But at the end of the day, still, there's really no proof saying that he's a stool pigeon. You feel me? So I can't even put that jacket on that man. I will say you're a sharp, smart dude, the way he wiggle and he move. But anyway, let's get back to the content.
So now that we have that recap, man, y'all understand what's going on. Now, this has been a conversation that's been talked about all across social media. And there's even been several Clubhouse conversations about this particular situation. Now, at one point in time, WACK100 brought his brother, who was actually on the case with him, to come to Clubhouse and talk about this. Wack would say that the case was actually dismissed in the interest of justice, which raised the eyebrow of a lot of people. But he would bring his brother to try to confirm some things about the case.
And let me say this, y'all. I looked it up what it says about in the interest of justice, and it does says, and it do say that if the police made a mistake or something, they would dismiss it on it. It's different narratives to why the case will be dismissed in the interest of justice, not just you working with the police type of situation. You feel me? So you know what I mean? So do your due diligence. Don't just listen what people say and take it and run with it. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, believe half of what you hear and none of what you see. You did. You know what I'm saying? Or did I say that wrong? Yeah, I said that wrong. My bad. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Let's get back to it.
As well as point out the reason why he would have never told in this particular situation, even if it came down to him being charged with those straps.
I don't know, Bob.
Who the fuck is that, Luz?
They seem to think
Us.
I cooperated to get out of the case.
Stealing
And
false
but you
information.
you didn't tell them why they dismissed it. Okay, RB. No, I never told them about the officer. You never told them about the mother. I've been waiting for him to go pull the paperwork. The officer sending dick pics to the people. They ain't gonna have that. You know what they gonna have? I'm gonna tell you what they gonna have, because the Justice Department ain't gonna say this is why they checked in the interest of justice. In the interest of justice, right? Because they don't want to say specific detail that he just caught taking pictures of it, sending it to me. Yeah, so they don't. But listen, hold on, no, Bob. They don't understand the statement. Watch this. I told them I didn't give a fuck how the case went. I wasn't going to jail anyway. Could you tell them what I meant by that? What? But I told them I wasn't never going to jail for the guns any motherfucker, wherever it turned out. Tell them what I meant by that. Well, they called a dope dog, and we had it beat a couple of points, other than they kicking it out because of what he did. But let's just say it all go wrong. But what did he do though? That's the point I'm trying to make. You see what I'm saying? You see how it's like it sounds like Wack is coaching. You know how police sit you in how you watch the movie and the police sit in the interrogation room and they like, so you know who did it, and how do you know? Because who told you who, that type of situation. They're trying to lead you into the answer without giving it to you. And that's what I hear right here. Like, what would have happened anyway if I wouldn't have whoop? It's like, oh, he's trying to think of something. Oh, okay, yeah, I would have took the case. Yeah, it's easy to say you would have took the case when you ain't have to face no charges. You ain't facing no charges right now. It's easy to say, yeah, I would have took the case. That ain't nothing. Anybody can pop it like that. But again, we're going to sit here and listen to this. And then, like Nina Boy said, you make your own judgment what you think. Listen, how does a dope dog smell ammo, bro? I mean, that's what we proved in court. But I want you to tell them, hold on, fuck all the dope dog, all that shit. I'm gonna let them ask you that on stage. Tell I meant what I mean by, regardless of the turnout, Cass Jones wasn't gonna be allowed to go to jail. I was gonna take the case. Wait, did y'all hear that?
You heard that.
But see, what's weird is he said he was gonna take the case, right? But before he said, when Wack first asked him, why was I never gonna be able to get charged? That should have been something first. He said off the bat, oh yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna take the case, not what the police did was wrong, because that ain't got nothing to do with it. Because if your money ain't right and your lawyer ain't talking right, anybody can paint a different narrative and make it seem like the police did their due diligence. You know what I'm saying? So it seemed like he was more or less led into answering this question, like they pre-talked about it, or you know what the case is. That's his brother, so at the end of the day, a brother know that his brother got to live in these streets. So his brother ain't gonna get on here and be like, oh yeah, Wack, you a rat, this and this and that. Well, none of that, because neither one of them actually had to face no jail time on top of it, and on top of it, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's his blood brother. So let's get back to it. Now, Bob, watch this, Bob. Why would you wait? Why would you do something like that? Well, number one, I'm used to riding my brother's beef. Number one. Number two, the main reason is because you take care of mom.
So ultimately, Wack is saying, regardless of what people were saying about this case, even if it wouldn't have gotten throughout, there was no way he was going to go to jail. So what he's actually trying to say is, why would he tell if his brother was willing to take the case? Now, there has been some type of disagreement or argument on the actual dismissal of the case. There's been people who have said that, listen, this case was never dismissed. The motion for dismissal was denied, but it was actually closed or dismissed in the interest of justice, like I said, which raised the eyebrows of a lot of people. Now, a YouTuber by the name of Deuce M's actually called down to the Wheeler County Clerk of Court's office, and he spoke with someone about this case, and they gave up some pretty interesting information about.
Wow, see, this is something new to me because I didn't know that you can actually call a police station or whatever you had to call to, and they would actually give you information about a case that was once, a case that was once open. Now, I know you can pay and get information. You can get a packet sent to you, but I didn't know that they actually would give you information pertaining to the case over the phone. So let's get to the content and see what this is about.
This.
First, this is Debbie.
Greetings. I'm doing research for a documentary. I'm with Val TV Network out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I was looking for public records on the case, and I'm having a hard time getting the records on this case. Is there any way you could assist me?
Well, what kind of case is it? And I'll tell you.
It was a gun case, 2005, for Cash McElroy Jones.
Okay. Do you have a cost number or anything?
A cost number. Hold on. I do have some kind of case number.
Yeah.
And it was so weird it just disappeared. Number 427. Is that an 8 or 3? 3. 4273.
Nope, that's not it. Okay, let me try again. 42. Oh wait.
No, 78. 73. I'm sorry.
4. Tell me it all again.
4273.
Okay.
Oh no, it comes
up to a Dickie.
Okay, no, I'm looking at another document. It says number 4278.
Okay, let's try that.
Sherry Jones was the district clerk.
Yes, she still is.
Oh wow, she's still around.
Yeah, she's been here a long time. Okay, now what are you needing?
I'm trying to find out. The case said it was a motion to dismiss, and then for illegal search and seizure, I can't find the results from that, but I know it got denied because the case continued, right? And then it was dismissed in the interest of justice. I don't know what the heck that.
So when they put in the paperwork for dismissal, it was denied, but because the case got continued. But what's weird is because it got continued, then later on it got dismissed in the interest of justice. That's what a funny part coming in at, because if there wasn't enough evidence or for them to go forward with the case, and y'all filed for a dismissal of the case, and they said, "Oh no, we pushing forward on this," and then later on they turn around and say, "Okay, we're gonna dismiss it in the interest of justice." It seems like, I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't know what it was, but it seems like as if they had a strong case. Somebody talked to the prosecutors, or lawyers, somebody talked to the prosecutors, and they came up with some kind of deal like, listen, we got a bigger case here, messing with him, let's get rid of this case on interest because we got something bigger going on. That's what it sounds like. Not saying that this is true, but this is what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? So that's on you to be the judge of what do you think, man. Y'all drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think and hit that like and subscribe button, man, for real, man. Let's run this content up, man. Anyway, like I'm saying, with the boy WACK100, man, it smells a little fishy over there, but I'm not saying, you know what I'm talking about, that he's stupid. I'm just saying, see, me, I'm the type of person, if I hear somebody a rat, just because somebody said you're a rat, I'm not going to call you a rat, but I'm also ain't going to be the dumb person that's going to hang out with you and not be your next victim if it turn out to be true that you are a rat. You dig what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get back to the content.
But yeah. I'm trying to figure that out.
Okay. Yes, that's what it says. Now this is just on the indictment It's just the indictment. This is not on the seizure case. Was there a seizure case?
No. It was an indictment for guns. Can I get that exactly? What was found in that?
Yeah, let's see here. Unlawful possession of a firearm by a felony is the charge, but it was dismissed.
Possession of a weapon by a felony. It is absolutely no way. It's no way you can. It's impossible, bro. It's impossible for you to have a case dismissed, bro. You got caught on the highway, right? I'm pretty sure.
And it's crazy that Nina Boy said this, right? Because I just had a conversation with one of my cousins, right? And I was explaining to him, right, that we out here we don't have no stand your ground law in California. We don't have that, but we have a self defense thing. Now, the self defense sound like it should be stand your ground, right? Okay, I guess it's different. But the thing about the self defense thing, like I try to explain to my cousin, I said, in order to use a self defense act, bro, that means you got to be in the midst of combat. And in the midst of that combat, you end up with a weapon or something, and you end up hurting that person badly to where it's a self-defense. You know what I'm saying? You had to defend yourself, so you're defending yourself. But if you are ex-felon with a firearm, and even if somebody break into your house or somebody's coming to get you, and you happen to pull out a weapon and you pop that dude and you knock him down, now, if the evidence proves that the guy was coming at you and he was attacking you and you had to self-defense, you had to, you know what I'm saying, use self-defense to get the dude up off you, cool. But the problem come in that, yeah, you can beat that case due to with a good lawyer for a self-defense situation, but where the problem come in at is you are ex-felon with a firearm. You did? Now, even if the firearm came back clean to where it wasn't yours, but it didn't come back stolen, it's still an ex-felon with a firearm because you can't be in possession of a firearm, period. You did the charge, yeah, you defending yourself, cool, yeah, we give you that. But based on the fact that you was in possession of a weapon before the situation even took place, mean you already in violation. I try to explain this to my cousin. I say, yeah, you're going to get off. You still going to. Now, if the weapon wasn't reported stolen, because, and how I know that I'm speaking from actual facts, is because I went through this before. I had a police run up in my motel room and they found weapons and they found drugs and ammunition. You dig what I'm saying? When they took me down, right? They said the gun didn't come back. The gun didn't come back stolen. The gun was actually just never reported stolen. You know what I'm saying? It was registered to someone, but it never was reported stolen. So what that is, it's a misdemeanor. You did if you're not a felon in possession of a firearm, you ain't on no paperwork, you ain't no probation, no parole, nothing, and you ain't, you know what I'm saying, and you get caught with a firearm, it's not a ex-felon with a firearm. It's a person with a possession of a firearm that, which means it's a misdemeanor because it's not stolen. Now, what makes it a felony if the firearm is stolen? Anyway, let's get back to the content.
Sure, they pulled you over for speeding. You might miss the turn, whatever. You didn't put on your blinker, whatever it was, bro. And once you are a felon, come on, bro. They ask you, you say no, they're going to get in that car, no matter what the situation is. You are a felon. You illegal traffic stop, right? Have the proof.
And remember, y'all, I want y'all to remember, WACK100 case, why he went to prison, is for allegedly shooting someone in the face with a weapon, with a BB gun or something like that. I know y'all gonna say, he did what? He went to prison for, he ain't no gangster. I understand how you feel about that, but let me break something down to you though, right? Them little BBs could have damaged that person's face. That little BBs could have flew to his eye, took his eyesight out. Them little BBs is still assault with a dangerous weapon because you have something that's mimicking a firearm and you using it like it is because it's really, as long as it discharge objects up out of it, yeah, it's a cold game. So when y'all dudes running around here trying to stick up and rob people with these BB guns and these fake guns, thinking that it's still considered assault with a dangerous weapon, it's still considered a weapon, bro. So be smart how you carry yourself. But like I was saying, if WACK100 went to prison for shooting someone with a BB gun in the face and then you get caught with weapons, it's like a prior would have prior. It's a prior, you're a prior, like you said, an ex-convict, and that's a prior case. You feel me? Anyways, get back to it.
There, it's crazy, man. I don't know what kind of lawyers he got. Wack probably had enough money to have one of them big time lawyers, but regardless of the fact, my nigga, if you a felon, right? Because you gave up your identification or your driver's license, that's automatically gonna pull your report card. It's no way, bro. I don't know, man. You know how the government is. If you give information, they'll cover that shit up, sealed and delivered, bro. Let's go.
Okay. And when it was dismissed, does it say how many firearms it was?
Let me just see. Let's look at the.
Because the documentary I'm doing is about gun traffickers that seem to not be held accountable by the court of law. So
let's see here. The indictment says Cash McElroy Jones.
That there is a God that really loves you so much that sent his son.
Did then and there, having been convicted of a felony of assault with a firearm on the 12th of May, 1994, in the cause number of the Supreme Court of Los Angeles County, in the case in the docket said California versus Cash. So, but this one is unlawful possession of a firearm. I guess he was convicted out of the state of California.
Yes, I found that one. I think he was a juvenile for that one. Then he gets caught in Wheeler, Texas, with guns. I don't know how many. I'm trying to see how many were charged in the indictment. And was this indictment a federal indictment or just a Texas state?
The state of Texas.
Okay.
And it doesn't say how many. It just says that unlawful possession of a firearm. So it doesn't tell me how many. Let me see. And I don't know if they did. That's back in 2006. I was trying to see if there was. Nope, there's nothing in here to tell me. Like the PCI, the whatever you call it, the pre-sentencing investigation. Sometimes they're filed. And right. I thought there might be one in here, but there's not, and it would tell me everything. But let's see. There's really nothing else in here that's of any.
Even in 2005, 2006, that was standard procedure for them to file a pre-sentence investigator report?
They had them, but sometimes they didn't give them to us.
Right.
But there's
so a lot of people might be like, all right, unlawful possession of a firearm. Okay, that's whatever if you're not a felon. But when you are a felon and you get caught,
then I just said that to y'all. I just broke that down to y'all right there. You feel me? Which is real talk. What he's saying, like if you're not a felon and the weapons are not stolen, then having possession of a firearm is considered a misdemeanor. You dig? It's nothing. But if you're an ex-felon or a felon on parole, probation, anything, you get called a firearm. It's out. You out of here, bro. You supposed to be out of here. Ain't no way you can talk your way around that. Now, I will say this though, right? If you're an ex-felon with a firearm and the police did something illegal and you got a good lawyer, they can definitely get that charge beat. They can definitely get that charge thrown out, which means the case will get in. If the lawyer got enough evidence to go in there and say, Yana, or tell the prosecutor, listen, y'all illegally did this, y'all illegally did this, you illegally did that. Yeah, my guy is a ex-convict, but he's not on parole, he's not on probation, not on no paperwork. But y'all did. Then they would, you got a good enough lawyer, you can get the case thrown out and he will be able to walk. But that depends on what kind of lawyer you got. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all, man, y'all got to understand money talk. BS run a marathon, bro. Let's get back to it.
With unlawful, possession of a firearm, bro, there's no way they're not going to drag that shit into court and foul on you, bro. Something is up. We ain't even all the way to the end, but I assure y'all, bro, this already just smell fishy, bro. Something ain't right with this whole situation. Let's go.
Nothing really. All it is a bunch of just regular documents that's filed and some subpoenas, and then they got the motion in order to dismiss,
which was denied.
No, he was dismissed.
Okay. And, oh, you're talking about in 2011 or 2010, right?
Yes, 2011. Yes.
And that was dismissed in the interest of justice.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna plead the fifth on that.
Now check this. When people talk like that, that mean they know more than what they lead. No, that mean it figure it out. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. But again, I'm not going to put words in this lady's mouth. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, read between the lines. Read between the lines. It's deep, man. Read between. I don't know, Wack, man. Wack, you been doing a good job at whatever you got going on, bro. I don't know. Like, man, you know, it be a lot of people on here, I will say, man, that will say this and say that about people, throw jackets on people, say, call people, you know what I'm saying, gay, whatever the case it may be. You got people that would do the worst, throw a jacket on you, right? I'm not one of them people, man, that do that, man. Like, I'm going to listen to the bare facts. I'm going to listen to what everybody says is facts. Like I say, this internet, man, it's a whirlpool of lies, mischief, and all kind of stuff. You feel me? Like I say, believe half of what you hear half of what you see and none of what you hear. You know what I'm saying? Because the stuff you hear, you got to take it with a grain of salt. What you see could be a play. That's why they say believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Because what you see, anybody can put together a play and make it look a certain kind of way. You feel me? Just to get you to bite onto the bait and you know, to get caught up in the raft. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get back to this content, man. Y'all hit that like, subscribe button. You know your boy talk, man. Like I said, man, it's the Quarter Report brought to you by the Red Night Special. I'm your boy Town Biz, man, and I talk, man. You feel me? But I'm going to talk my truth. Let's go.
Obviously, it's kind of suspicious. This isn't normal, but I'm just looking at it from the perspective of I done heard motion to dismiss for illegal search and seizure, violations of one's constitutional rights. But for me, I'm quite sure if I got caught with a gun,
right,
they would be telling me they're dismissing me in the interest of justice.
Let's put our minds together, sir.
He does have a point there, but y'all keep throwing out the fact that y'all wasn't there, so you don't know if it was a legal search. You don't know if it was a legal stop. You don't know if the cop did something wrong. All this takes part in when your lawyer pick up your case and look, because he's looking at what the cops did wrong. And if you think I'm lying, check this out, y'all. I'm gonna tell you a story about my homeboy. When I was locked up in the East Coast, I had a homeboy from Boston, Massachusetts, right? Dark-skinned dude. He riding around. He got two keys in the trunk. He riding around with a baseball cap on. He ended up, I guess he was making a delivery or something. The cops seen, start following, pull him over, found the two keys. He go down. He fight the case. Once they got the cop to admit that, I seen somebody wearing a baseball cap, so I decided to follow him. That's racial profiling. You did what I'm saying? Case instantly get thrown out for racial profiling. So we don't know if this was another racial profiling case. Two black people driving the car. Why did you stop the car? We don't know the dynamics of the case because it ain't never hit the court, or it never come out yet. So it never went to court. It got dismissed. So you don't know they reason for saying we're going to dismiss this case, y'all. So I understand what everybody's saying because it do sound fishy. But until you get to the bottom line, black and white, to what it really was, man, you can speculate all you want, man. But the truth is the truth, man. And I say that because you wouldn't want somebody putting a jacket on you or anybody else that you love like that, because that stuff can get you unalive. Anyway, let's get back to the content.
In the interest of justice, we decided that we will know this indictment of this possession, unlawful possession of a firearm in the interest of justice. It doesn't take a rocket science, bro. In the interest of justice, because he gave information that could help them prosecute a bigger case, we're willing to get rid of this, act like this is nothing. You a truck driver. You get caught with some weapons. All right, we'll let you go. You gave up some information, bro.
Hey, Nita boy, you a cold piece of work, bro. Like you put it on here, boy.
If that's not the case, then why is this man brother still on the streets? Why was his brother, since he said he was gonna take the case? You understand what I'm saying? Go sit down and do that time. Shit, Brick Baby in jail for firearm. C-Mac went to jail for a firearm. It's in fact, it was your.
But everybody case is different, y'all. And I'm not saying it because I'm trying to co-sign for Wack. I don't know Wack or nothing like that. In actuality, I really don't even like Wack like that. I'm gonna be real with you, man. I think he's a good entertainer. I think he's a genius as far as keeping his name in the algorithm and all that stuff. But far as his personality, far as him, the way he get down, how he try to dig up people, dirty. So I'm gonna be truthfully honest with you. It's two things he did that I wasn't feeling that kind of rough. First one, I was like, well, yeah, whatever. But it's the thing about the Tupac situation, about him trying to put that little rumor out there about Tupac, and then the thing that he did with the Nipsey Hussle situation. I'm fans of both of them now. I would say I don't know neither one of these guys personally, but at the end of the day, my problem is to see a grown man go out his way to try to dig up dirt and put together content on people that's passed away, that's no longer here, that in the people's eyes look at as legends and they love them. For you to do that, it just make it rubs me the wrong way. Like, dang, man, like what kind of dude do that? Like, we like to give our heroes they prop. The same thing with Martin Luther King. All these years, everybody told me we love Martin Luther King. Everybody had a dream. Then it take for some females to come out to say, well, I don't know why y'all praising him. Everybody, when he was cheating on his wife, he was this, he was that. Everybody want to overlook the great work he did to bring up the fact that he cheated on his wife. And now that little cheat tarnished his whole legacy. That's what I'm saying, though. But I'm not saying that Tupac was sweet or straight. I don't know. I don't know none of that, right? But that ain't how I want to remember Tupac, as somebody saying he was sweet or gay. Same thing with Nipsey Hussle. I don't want to remember him for somebody WACK100 throwing a smut on his name. I want to remember him for the king that he was when he passed away. You dig what I'm saying? And again, I don't want no LA dudes to be thinking that I be getting that LA dude sideways. No, man, I do apologize for the way I do come off at times. And I had a couple people get at me and let me know. My people's like, bro, when you speaking, you be speaking about certain people. Don't always say these gangbangers. You got to point the finger at those specific gangbangers, which you know, and you know what I'm saying. I could take constructive criticism, so I listened and I understood what he said, and now I'm breaking it down. You feel me? But anyway, let's get back to this content.
Truck, let's go. And if they had his fingerprints on that weapon, he would definitely be going, because he's already a felon and already had possession of a weapon. You know what I'm saying? A firearm before. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that don't even make no sense, bro. But in the interest of justice.
And that's like a prior. If you have a prior offense for it, you already had a gun charge, you pick up another gun charge, they're going to get a courtroom and say, Yanni, you had a prior offense for the same thing before. That's what Nina Boy speaking on. Let's go.
Hold on. Siri, what do it means in layman terms in the interest of justice as far as a law case?
I looked this up as well. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all it's different things that it means. But when people read what it means, they
ain't giving me no
the one that.
Y'all looked that shit up though. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's go.
Just unless
Exactly.
Yeah, correct. All right, and is there any way that I could get emailed those documents?
Well, do you need the indictment or just the motion?
The indictment, the motion to dismiss, and if you have the motion to dismiss for illegal search and seizure, because I think that one was denied and it was later dismissed in the interest of justice.
Okay, let me look through here. Hang on. All I'm seeing, but let me save this right quick. Hang on.
Okay.
I may have worded it wrong because I was thinking while I was speaking, but I want y'all to go look that up and leave it in the comments, man.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, man, y'all Y'all go check that out on Nina Boy, man. And shout out to Nina Boy, man, for that content right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Because I'm just being real with you, man. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, I done been through some cases. I done caught a few cases, not just in this state, around a couple of states. You do what I'm saying? So I know how it kind of works a little bit. You know what I mean? But for the most part, though, man, do you think WACK100 is really CS2 back? Or do you think people WACK100 is just getting a bad hand? He got a bad hand. He got dealt where what he's doing is looking suspect. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, like Nina Boy said, leave it to y'all to make that decision, man. But y'all drop a comment in the comment section. Hit that like button. It's your boy Town Biz. Thank you for tapping in. And I hit you on the next one, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. You know how we do.
Why would I throw in the towel? I just got in my bag. I don't make no mistakes. I'm coming for mine, and there ain't no one taking